Hey everybody, it's Scott on Model back for episode 22 of my Thaumcraft 1 Let's Play. Hope everybody's having a great day. Guys, we're going to do our automation setup here in our factory, at least the first part of it. It's pretty complex. Thaumcraft 1 made automating some of this stuff a pretty good challenge, and that's really a lot of fun. And I'm surprised in version 1 of software that, you know, it could be this complex, and that's actually really cool. So we're going to produce the first half of what we're going to use to produce singularities, and that's going to be producing nitor. All right, if you remember, there are 3 stages of nitor. There is the glimmering nitor, the glowing nitor, and the incandescent nitor. And each one is produced in an infuser, putting each lower level in to get the higher level. Using the infusion mold. All right, so you need an infusion mold in each one. We're going to use 3 infusers to do it, and luckily and smartly on Azanor's part, the infusion mold can be crafted in a crafting table. So we're going to use the automatic crafting table from Buildcraft to do that, and that will give us, you know, the ability to resupply the tools. I need to sleep. Resupply the tools, which is something in our simpler automations up to this point we haven't been able to do. All right, we haven't been able to supply the small tools, you know, resupply the tools as they break. We're going to do it in this one using logistics pipes. All right, so I'll go through and produce a few logistic pipes here on camera, but let's go ahead and get our setup started here. All right, so the first thing we're going to want to do, guys, is hook up the V network to provide V to each one of these infusers, all right, from this crucible. So basically we just need to run conduits to every one of those to be sure that, you know, it's connected to feed V into each one. All right, and we'll turn each one of these off in succession so that we don't use up all the V, because they will pull in every bit of V, and that makes it quite challenging to do, but quite fun and interesting along with red power. All right, so that gets our V. Now we just need a way to produce the V, and we're going to actually use several different ways. But one of the first things we're going to want to do is lay a place here to put our symbol. All right, we're going to use an iron symbol, and if I put an iron symbol on here, you've seen it before, it will pull items into it. Now I'm not going to put that symbol on there now, because everything that we break would be pulled into it. And, you know, we'd lose our items. So we don't want to do that. But basically, I have the Glowstone Generator over here. And to produce nitor, you put glowstone in the infuser with the infusion mold. All right. So we need to make a setup to get the glowstone over to there from here, and to basically mine it. So we're going to use the breaker for that, the breaker for red power, just like we've done up, you know, in other setups. All right, like that. Very, very useful tool. And then we'll also put a chest beside that. Now I need to get some more chests, so let me just go ahead and grab those out of the table here. Let's get like 4 would be fine. And so we're going to put a chest right here beside of it that the breaker will feed into. All right, like that. So we need to pull then out of the chest. So to do so, we're going to use some Buildcraft pipes. Let's see, we'll use the wooden transport pipes. I've got a few made here, and we'll just pull out the bottom of it. And of course, it will require an engine to control that. Then we need to just feed that into a stone pipe network. I've got more than a stack of each one, so I'll pull out just what I need and we'll see where to go from there. But basically we need to get over to the top of this. So this feeds items into the top, pulls items out of the side, and puts tools into the bottom. All right, so that's how it sets up. But basically, so we don't reconnect to the chest, we'll just come up over this way, and it won't connect to the breaker because there's nothing to go to. So that'll put that into there. Now we also would like to feed some of the glowstone into the crucible over here. All right, so we can put another pipe coming out of there and it'll just choose a route. It'll just go one or the other. So some of the glowstone will go into here to provide us a little auxiliary V. And we'll be doing that repeatedly just to get enough V to handle all these, and then we'll try to balance it out and figure out how to do it. Okay, so coming out of the side of these, we need advanced wooden pipes because we need a nitor, which I don't actually have that. We'll need to produce one. I might as well do it in each one for right now. Let's see, I should have glowstone on me. Yeah, let's get glowstone, and let's get an infusion mold. All right, I have that in my bag here. All right, and let's produce a first one of the levels of nitor because the Buildcraft pipes actually use, let me get a node. We'll need that anyway to feed some of this stuff. Let's get a node, and that'll be a backup. So yeah, we'll get a V node like such and put it in on top, let's say like over here, right here. Okay, and that'll feed some V into it. Then we'll just throw a few items into here. Let me get my diamond pick out. Didn't look far enough ahead for that part of it to actually have the nitor to put in the pipes, but let's grab it from here. This is an Obsidian Generator. You've seen it in other setups. We'll just get a couple. That'll be enough, probably. I can use it as a search. Let's do that, actually. Go ahead and get a stack of it. Put it in here. You can see I have like 238 million EMC now, so EMC is not an issue. So let's put that in. Put our... we might as well go ahead and mine this because I need to put this lower in the ground. So let's go ahead and mine this out. Yeah, and we'll put it here into the ground. That'll give us a better way to redirect what it's doing. All right, so put that back into the ground, such, then it'll produce the obsidian. All right, so we can put up the diamond pick now. We're done with it. So let's go ahead and produce a couple of pieces, put some of that obsidian in there, which we'll need anyway to get started. I'll do like 16 or so. That shouldn't overfill it. All right, so that goes into the system here. So now when we put the glowstone, you can see we got the glimmering nitor. All right, so we'll need to actually produce 2 of those, actually 3, to save the what we need. So let's get 3, and we'll get these produced. All right, so let's produce 2 more. Probably need to feed more B in there. Get my infusion mold and go into the next one to produce it. Okay, so put the glimmering in, and this is the process that we'll be automating, is each one feeding this into the next one going to the higher level. Okay, so we got that. We should have just enough inventory to get this last one, I hope. And put the glowing in to get the incandescent. Okay, and I'll leave the infusion mold in there for now. It's fine. All right, so that will give us what we need to filter the advanced pipe. So I'm going to go ahead and just put up that obsidian. Probably already have some in the bag. That's fine. Actually, I'm so low on space in the bag. You could see I've got so many materials that I work with that I'm just going to put the rest of this up. All right, cool. Now, basically, we need to use the advanced wooden pipes. All right, from Buildcraft. Yeah, advanced wooden transport pipes, have a few of those. And we'll use that to come out of each one of these. Now, we don't actually need it on the last one, just on this one, all right? So we need to filter each one for what it needs so it doesn't pull out other stuff. So the glimmering, we have 2 glimmering. We have an incandescent. Where's the glowing? Is it still in here, or do I need... I guess I produced 2 of them or something. All right, that's fine. Grab this because I do need the glowing as well. Not really, because it's the glimmering that we're pulling out, so that's not true. I just need to filter for the glimmering. Yeah, I don't need the glowing. That's fine. On here, I need to filter for the incandescent. All right, to be sure. Oh, that's not right. None of that is right. I need the glimmering. I do need the glowing in here. Yeah, I do need the glowing. Let's do that. Here. Should have enough V. Yeah, probably just enough. Okay, and they produce pretty quick. We have to balance that too time-wise. So what, all right, what's going on? This is the glimmering. Get the infusion mode. I guess it's glimmering, then glowing. Hard to keep up with sometimes. There we go. Yeah, so that'll produce the glowing. Yeah. And then the incandescent. I must have used that other glowing that I produced to you know, do the incandescent. All right. So there we go on the glowing. All right, so that filters for that. It'll only pull that out. Now we just need to connect them up, and again, it goes into the top. So we need to feed over that way. So stone transport pipes will work fine. And we need to go over and up and then over to the top like that. All right, now we'll probably put a distribution pipe that feeds some of this glimmering that gets produced over into a crucible over there to get more V if we need to do that. Probably we will. All right. Based on my test, the balance, it's a balancing act trying to get everything. So we just need to connect that up, and then of course we'll need to put engines on each one of those to supply them power for the pipes to pull. All right, so let's put it beside of it and it should connect. Yeah. All right, and there. Okay, and then we'll suspend levers and stuff above here. I can just put a block really to get a lever. I think I can put a block on top of that, yeah. And then we'll just put levers to supply those, okay? And so that's basically the setup feeding from each one with the V connected. Now we'll just need to run pipes underneath to get the tools into them when we get to that point. Sleep again. Days go by quick, guys. This is a complex setup. It really is, but it's fun. Balancing it is a challenge. All right, so now that we have this network part set up, this setup, the glowstone's feeding here, glowstone's feeding there. We'll set up the obsidian breaker here. Let's see, I have the other breaker. Okay, same deal that we've done in other setups. Basically, you just face away from it. It's like a dispenser or a piston, and it will trigger that. Now we need to get redstone that triggers this block breaker. Okay, like that. And we're going to use a timer for it rather than the trick that we were using by passing redstone through it. We're going to set up a timer for it. All right, like that. All right, let's see if the timer's facing the right direction. It's not. All right, let's break it and go this direction. Yeah, like that. And we'll go ahead and set it to 12 seconds would be fine. And then we'll want that signal to also feed into this breaker over here. So we can get a signal coming out the side of it, pretty much. Yeah, let's check it. Yeah, so 12 seconds is about right. So let me put another block here, and then I'll use the cable from the wire, red alloy wire from Red Power to connect them. So it should be able to go like this, like that, and like that. They're not actually connected to that pipe. So this they should both trigger now. let's see if that works. Yeah, we want a slow timer because it takes a while for these to refresh. Okay, that worked. It just immediately popped back on, or did it? Is this the sequencer or the timer? I think it, yeah, that's the sequencer. It fed it back to us. We don't want the sequencer. We'll use that at the front of the setup. Inventory tweaks fed the sequencer back to us rather than the timer. So I thought it looked weird. There we go. All right, now we'll set this guy to 12. And then it'll trigger both of those. All right, so that'll work great for us to continually feed, and then it should feed the glowstone into there once we get the engine running. All right, so we need to put an engine. Did I cover my spot where I need an engine? That's fine. I'm going to go underneath with the engine. So we'll just go underneath here, okay, and place our redstone engine for these, like such. Auto connect, and then I need to make some levers. So let's get out the sticks for levers. I'm going to make like 4 of them. Cobblestone. Okay, let's make like 4 levers. Of course, I always make one more than I say I want to make. All right. Get that back in. Okay, so now we'll just put a lever on that guy to get it going, and it'll start feeding glowstone. Levers are right here. Okay, and trigger that. Okay, it didn't lock that redstone. I was checking that. I'll put this one here and this one here. All right, good. Now, let's see where we're at. So we should have obsidian and glowstone being fed. It should be pulling out of here. It is, and going into the infuser. Let's check that. Yeah, it's just slow, but it doesn't matter. Speed doesn't matter. Some of the glowstone should be choosing the route over to there. When the iron symbol is in place, it won't drop into the world. Let me go ahead and cover this hole though. But when the iron symbol's in place, it won't drop into the world, because that'll pull it to it. Yeah. Right now it's dropping below it. That's fine. We'll just let that happen. I think for right now I'm going to go ahead and take out this pipe just so it doesn't have that route while we're waiting. And in fact, I'll go ahead and just turn this off until we get it ready to go. I can control the timer obviously with a lever as well. Let's do that. Put a block here and then put a lever on it, and then we can control that timer. Okay, cool. Now let's look at what we're going to do, because again, now it'll automatically feed between each one of these when it's going. So pretty much we have our production setup going. Let's go ahead and put the iron symbol down. One thing we're going to want to do is set up a sequencer network, but we can go ahead and get everything running in the meantime to get that working. Just need to be careful about stuff I need to break or what have you, as I mentioned. So if I put that on there, put the stone transport pipe back on here, some will choose to go over here, being pulled by the iron symbol. Get this timer going again, where it's sending the items. Okay, V is being fed. Basically, this needs just infusion tools, and it'll start producing to go over to there. All right, so the infusion tools, again, there's the recipe for them, which is wooden bowls, which I doubt I have any wooden bowls produced, but let's see, let's get some planks here and make some wooden bowls. Actually, let's go ahead and make quite a few. many as I can. Yeah, that's half a stack. It takes 2 wooden bowls in the recipe. So the wooden bowls, I'll actually need to go through and produce quite a few of those just to get us a backlog. But let's look at the recipe. So V crystals, like such. This is the automatic crafting table from Buildcraft. And then wooden bowls, 2 of them, produces the infusion mold. All right. So I need a few of the infusion molds just to fill the items, and they go through durability pretty quick. But let's get at least 2 more of them. Okay. And they don't stack. Inventory is a thing. We'll just leave that in there for now. So put that in here and in here. All right. And so that's produced 16. Because the engines aren't running, it's not going to the next level. But once the engines are running, and of course they need to warm up for a while as well, then they'll go to the next level there. All right. So it should pull them out. Again, it's filtered for the glimmering. Is that correct? Is that what I have? No, I didn't have a filter in there. So glimmering night tour, what it's filtered for now, it's pulling it. Let's check the filter on that. Glowing night tour, yeah. All right, and then my output chest will go over here. So let's get my chests and put it here. Here. Let's put it here. Because I'll need a wooden transport pipe out of that. I don't need the advanced ones. I'm done with the advanced ones for now. Put those back up and get the regular wood. I have it in my inventory already. Got right here. And get that. And then a stone extract insert right there. And then this will probably be a distribution pipe, because we're going to do an alternative route that feeds all the way over into, not there, but into the crucible. All right. So we'll want to go along here. We're going to want to put a gold pipe to speed it up a bit. But let's see, we're going to end up kind of above this by 1 like that, and over. Yeah, there's probably fine. And then I'll put a gold pipe to speed this up along the route. But we'll have this fly into a cover, okay, and it'll get pulled by the iron symbol down into there. So let's go ahead and get a gold transport pipe. They speed up items that flow through them. I may already have it in my inventory. I do. Okay, let's grab the gold. Go to sleep again. I'm not sure about the time on this episode. The sleep thing is telling me that it's long. But let's break that out and put a gold in here around the corner. Then we could also put a gold right here. We'll see if we need it or not. But the gold requires power, so it's got to have a lever on it to activate it. Yeah, that should be fine. So it'll choose a route between them, and we'll probably put a distribution pipe to say like 3 into here and 1 over to there. All right. So we need to put a cover. Covers. I think I have an ender chest. Let's see if I have an ender chest on me. No. I have an ender chest, I think, in the house over there. I'll get that later, guys. Basically, I just needed obsidian cover. They're easy to make, but I'll do that just to keep this item from flying out. We want it to go down and be pulled down into there. All right. All right, sleep again. Okay, so that basically gets us pretty much the beginnings of the setup. short of the logistics pipes. The logistics pipes is what we use to do auto crafting and to fill these items. So we basically will run a series of conduits underneath here, but you can see it's going through to each one. It's being fed V, and then it's going into here once it's done producing that. It's produced 9 of them. Once we put an engine on here to pull it out, then it'll go that route over to the other side. So let me put that there. Same thing as we did before. Put the lever on it. I need another lever. And there we go. Okay, and again, this is a very detailed, complex setup. And that's the fun of it, guys. I mean, that is what is so fun about these older versions, is that you really, really have to solve this puzzle. See, I think I need a couple more levers. You have to solve these puzzles with Buildcraft, and then you have to balance them. I mean, this is just the first stage of making the thing connect. All right, balancing it is the next stage to make sure that all these things will flow together correctly. So I'm going to again turn off this route for a moment so I can just gather items in the chest till I get it set up. We're producing enough V at the moment to keep up because we're not producing large amounts yet. But as you can see, there's a couple items traveling through. We've got 10 in there. And it's going in turn as it can. So see, each one is producing a little bit, but we can actually control that a little bit more because again, the V is an issue. So to do that, we're going to use a sequencer. All right, we're going to use the sequencer from Red Power. And let's see now, let's actually take our NOT gates, because again, we want these guys off until it's triggered on. So we're going to use a NOT gate here, here, and here in front of each one. All right, then we'll take our sequencer, okay, and we need to connect them all together. We'll set it at 12 seconds. A sequencer has 4 outputs that it switches between. All right, it switches between 4 outputs. So we have 3, so it'll trigger this one, then trigger that one, then trigger that one, then have an off period. Then trigger this, trigger that, have an off period. So that works out really well for what we want to do. We just need to connect it up with the red alloy wire now. So we just come out of here and along here. So you can see those 2 are off because that sequence is off. Actually, that's just controlled by one sequence. We don't want that. We need to run one from each side of the sequencer. So here, and like that, and then there, and like that. So that one will be on. It'll produce for 12 seconds. Then it'll be off, letting it gather V. All right. Then it'll switch in 12 seconds and run this one for 12 seconds. Then see, run that one for 12 seconds. Let it produce a number of the items. All this time, the Glowstone Generator and stuff still running independently. So it's feeding more items to it. Then it'll go to there, produce for 12 seconds, and go there to produce for 12 seconds. Anyway, guys, this is the basis of our setup. I'll do a little bit of the cleanup that I need to do in between to get these items set up. And then in the next episode, we'll produce the logistics pipes and stuff that we'll need to produce this. But this is a really interesting setup, and this is just half of what we've got to do to produce the singularities. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Automation, if you love it, this is pure automation stuff, and I love it in these older versions, and in Buildcraft, it's really cool. So I hope you enjoyed this Scott Model. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.